Philadelphia.
Hurts puts Calcaterra in motion. Hurts back. Hurts looking. Hurts still looking. Still looking. Hurts is starting to run. Now he fires. Complete. Touchdown. This time it goes to Johnny Wilson. His first touchdown in the NFL. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is over.
That's the end of the game.
It is. Thank goodness. Say the Cowboys. 34-6. Eagles beat Dallas. They just buried them.
Yes, courtesy of the Eagles Radio Network. Good afternoon, everybody. Another edition of the Daily Ticket coming your way. A victorious Monday Daily Ticket. Love those. Been saying that a lot lately. And this Eagles team went down to Dallas and handled business. 7-point favorite. And I don't think you really sweat all that much. There was a moment in the first half where, the interception happened by Jalen. Maybe at that point in time, you might be thinking you could be snake bitten, but I highly doubt that. Even the most pessimistic Eagle fan had to believe that they were a much better team just watching a few minutes into that game. Dallas has a lot to be desired, to say the least, at this point in time. But enough about the Cowboys. Who cares about that? Let's talk about the Eagles. First time in 7 years, they went down to Dallas and beat the Cowboys. And there's so many things that you can look at, of course, after a victory, and every one of them are mainly the positives, right? But let's talk about the defense. If you don't start with the defense, then I don't know. Teach their own, I guess, on that. But for me, it's real easy. What we're seeing right now with this defense, and it really comes down to, for me, of course, Zach Bond at the linebacker position. You got Jalen Carter up front, no doubt about that. But doesn't it feel like something changed when Cooper DeJean got in there? Like that's what's happening for me more than anything. Like I think about what this defense was before he got in there and what he's been able to do when he's called upon, whether it's a nickel or moving around. It just feels like that's when everything swung and started changing in a positive manner for the Eagles defense. Again, last 5 games, 10 points per game allowed, 201 yards per game allowed. You're talking about 126 passing yards allowed, just 4 total touchdowns, and that is the last 5 games. Best in the NFL, no ifs, ands, buts about it in the past 5 games. And these are the things that you have to be realistic about when it comes to the ebbs and flows of a season. And that's where we're at. For everybody that wanted to say that this defense was a disaster and they're never going to fix, they're not going to change. Yeah, this is when you find your identity, who's who and what's what. And Fangio clearly has these boys playing at a different level right now. That's where my mind goes to immediately. I look at what this defense is bringing to the table. Now, sacks could be a little bit up there, more pressure, of course, but the plays that the offenses need to be made, they can't do it. And it's all based off of guys getting off of their block, being in the right position, getting after, or getting penetration, whether it's passing or running the football, it doesn't matter. Defensively, Zach Bond leading the charge as far as linebacker is concerned. The grades coming in, he's been the best at his position for the past few weeks. Of course, Dean, you can't pass him over. It's a great tandem there, great duo at the linebacker position, and just a lot to like right here, right now for the Eagles team. Now, we knew that they were going to be impressive throughout the course of this stretch, but let's not, I don't care who the quarterback is for the Cleveland Browns. I don't care who the quarterback is for the Giants, for the Cowboys. You got to play the opponent that's in front of you, and the Eagles have handled business in a big way against every one of those teams. And this week, not going to be easy going up against that Commanders team who just lost to the Steelers and probably should have found a way to win that game. But I look at what this defense is doing, and they're going to have an opportunity to tee off against the rookie quarterback. Now, I know Daniels is playing well, but I think that there's going to be success for the Eagles on the defensive side of the ball this Thursday night. That number has come out on DraftKings Sportsbook. The Eagles are 3-point favorites. 49 is your total in that one. Again, Eagles and Commanders at home on Thursday night, and that's a big, big game. They're all big from here on out because you're playing for, of course, playoff seeding. You're playing for the division, and now you get the opportunity to go up against the team that you just passed for first place, but albeit a football to be played. Offensively, you look at what the box score is, right? And it's more of the same from Jalen Hurts. Like we can't look past him and just be like, ho hum. No, a Jalen Hurts game is what you saw yesterday, where he is going to throw for a little over 200 yards. He's going to find the end zone, that anytime touchdown that Mark Henry Jr. has been banging the table for years now. It feels like cashes yet again. At 202 yesterday, 14-20, did have the interception. But again, you can live with those errors from time to time. Just you don't want to be consistently turning the football over, and Jalen has not done that in the past few weeks. So big time performance by the quarterback, 7 carries for 56 yards, 2 touchdowns, I said, on the ground, 2 touchdowns in the air. Getting the tight ends involved, you got to like to see that. And you got to start to believe now that this team is putting it together and starting to find the vibes as far as momentum is concerned. And I know Jalen was asked about that, but bottom line is this team together, they're believing what they're getting on defense. If the offense can't get it going defensively, they know that they're going to have their back. Nick Sirianni, been one of his biggest critics. I said last week that you can miss me on the whole, will he make it throughout the course of the season? He's got this year to work with and then some, right? Again, that's a whole complex conversation that please don't pick up in the dribs and drabs. He's coached very well. He's got this team winning. You just want to see him make the consistent right decision when it's called upon. And again, from that game against New Orleans, that game against the Atlanta Falcons to where we're at right now, Nick Sirianni's got this team believing. And I do believe that this is a Super Bowl contender. And I said that last week when I took the Eagles to win the NFC at 7-1. Now, again, the bias, of course, but, look around the league and we'll get to some of the better teams that played yesterday, including the Detroit Lions and that big time win against the Texans in the late night hour. But for my money at this point in time, I look at what the Eagles have been able to show us in these past few weeks and now really finding their groove. AJ healthy, haven't lost a game with him out there. That's a big deal. Of course, Jordan Mailata is coming back at the tackle position. That's only going to strengthen, bolster up one of the best offensive lines in the game. And the Eagles right now currently are 4-1 to win the NFC. If you listen to this show, I gave you 7-1 a week ago. So, it's a good wager to have, 4-1. I don't really hate that either. So if you're looking for something to get involved with, as far as the Eagles as they are approaching, look, we got a long way to go, a lot of games to be played, but I think we can start to look at what the playoffs are going to look like. Right now, the Lions are plus 190. No surprise. They definitely have that championship vibe to them. Niners are 5-1, Vikings plus 950, and the Commanders 11-1. A lot of the Commanders' love took a little hit yesterday. But I would love to get you started as far as your thoughts from the big-time win for the Eagles over the Cowboys yesterday. Final score 34-6. A lot of really good things are happening on the defensive side of the ball. Here's Jalen Hurts talking about exactly that after the game.
Hell of a performance by the defense. So I'm going to keep it rolling while it's hot. Just the way that they've been able to play, the intensity, been able to take the ball over, and get the ball back. And it's always here when we can take advantage of those opportunities as well. So just need that same intensity here moving forward.
That's it. And this team is delivering. CJ, GJ, Jalen Carter, Cooper DeJean, Blankenship playing well. Zach Bond leading the charge, and I said with him and Dean, you can't really look at one over the other. I think they're a hell of a tandem and a lot to like from this Eagles team, specifically on the defense. Commanders on Thursday night. It's a big game. They took a little bit of a hit with that loss to the Steelers, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But Jon Jansen joining us in studio. Hello, John.
Hello, Sean Brace.
Great to have you.
Great to be here.
Yeah.
On
Nice.
time.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so talk to me about yesterday's game. For me, it starts with the defense, and I am a huge fan of everything that they've been able to put together. I'm not so much surprised because they do have talent, they do have skill, but they aren't really getting after the quarterback, tallying up major sack numbers week in, week out. But position versus position, this team is all over the place. And I said that I feel like if we went back when Cooper DeJean really made his presence known and they moved off of Avonte Maddox and got Cooper DeJean, that's where, to me, I think we started seeing the consistent change on this defense. Again, everybody's playing great, but as a complete defense, it seems like, hey, look, if this guy is not there, somebody else is making that play. And yesterday you saw more of it. Again, keeping the Cowboys out of the end zone. I don't care who the quarterback is. Just a top-notch performance by the defense.
Yeah, it really was. And their pass rush isn't getting home, I don't think, as often as we want. But it's not like last year where they weren't impacting the game at all. I feel like the defensive line is being disruptive. I don't know if they're necessarily elite, like the strength of this team, but disruptive is good enough when you have a secondary playing as well as it is. When you have two linebackers that are playing not just well, like Zach Bond is playing elite football right now, which is wild to say that about a linebacker that they got. They weren't even sure if he was an inside or outside linebacker, and now he's been one of the best inside linebackers in all of football. But you have all of these things that are great, that the defensive line, you take a little bit of the pressure off of them. In previous years, it was you had to get home, your front four had to get home all the time. But they have now lockdown cornerbacks.
Yes.
They have safeties that are playing well. They have linebackers that can cover the field as well. So now you give your defensive line a little bit of a chance and a little bit of extra time to get home. I thought Bryce Huff was actually, by the end, flashing some things I haven't seen from him since New York, since he was with the Jets. So that, I think, was an encouraging sign. Jalen Carter, I thought, played a really good game. So there's things with the defensive line that still need to get better, but I think it's good enough for where they are right now, with especially how everybody else is playing.
Yeah, no, and again, Jalen Carter, just an absolute beast. It was not an easy, assignment going up against Martin. We know what he's capable of, but he dominated all evening long. Linebacker play across the board, as we said. I thought you brought it up correctly with Mitchell and the way he's playing. He could very well win Defensive Rookie of the Year this year. I want to pull up those numbers.
Who else? Yeah, it's tough for a cornerback because they don't have too many numbers, but the numbers always
he's 12-1
to defensive end, but 12-1.
12-1. I think that's worth the play.
Who's the favorite right now?
Jared Verse from the Rams, who we will see tonight. He's playing linebacker position, but again, I think Mitchell is really starting to get some of the
he's got to start getting attention because he is guarding some big time wide receivers, and it seems like he is on the winning edge of a lot of.
What are we calling it? Mitchell Penitentiary?
I don't know what we're calling it.
I love that.
No, I think it's something with yeah.
Quentin Penitentiary, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It was talked about. I know Mark Henry Jr. had it over the weekend, and somebody was saying put it on some T-shirts. I love it. That kid's playing great, and again, just a dominant performance from start to finish. 7-point spread was never in jeopardy. First downs 24-11 for the Eagles. They had it going, and it wasn't even the best day by Saquon Barkley. We often talk about who is the ultimate engine for this team, and 1 week I'm saying it's Saquon, and then what do you get from AJ? 5 grabs for $109. Saquon goes for 66 yards and 14 carries. His number wasn't called upon all that much, which is a good thing because he's been rushing the ball a ton as of late. You're going to need him down the stretch and hopefully in the future years, and that's my biggest concern. To put that to the side, nobody really cares about that at this point in time, but DeMarco Murray was a real deal, and you can have an effect on future years by how much you ask of that player to haul the ball. And I look at a guy like Saquon, so if you can get him a little bit of a breather in this spot, sure, especially short week against the Commanders on Thursday night, I think that's a great move by the coaching staff to at least.
Yeah, they used him when they really needed him.
Correct.
And by the time the game is over, they didn't really need much use for him anymore.
Yeah, that was it.
because he performed well. I mean, 4.7 yards per carry is solid.
Yeah.
So like he played well. It's just, that's a good thing. That's what I was hoping in this Dallas game is you end up beating them soundly early, and then you can start to, not give as many carries to Saquon Barkley. You can start to maybe dial down the usage, because I think for the Eagles, really using Saquon has been a necessity more than anything. And so I was hoping that wouldn't be necessary in a game like this, and it wasn't, which is a great thing.
All right. Now we have a big-time matchup coming up here on Thursday. We'll talk plenty about that all week, getting you ready to go for that game. Once again, DraftKings has the Eagles as a 3-point favorite at home, but a little from Mike McCarthy, who is coaching his final season with the Dallas Cowboys.
You think?
I'm surprised he made it out of there alive yesterday. You got players pointing fingers. You got Micah Parsons stepping to a microphone saying, I don't really care about Mike McCarthy, paraphrasing there.
Yeah, I think people are taking that a little out of it.
Well, I think he could answer it a little bit better. That's not...
Maybe. I don't think his point was about McCarthy. His point was McCarthy could get another job anywhere else, but players are losing time, and players don't have as much time. And some of the players on Dallas are losing years that they really need.
Yeah. And then he said something along the lines of Mike McCarthy's work, and I don't know. Again, if I'm Micah Parsons, I'm probably not saying it the way he did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fine.
Anyways, Mike McCarthy on the loss. Let's hear what he had to say.
This is the National Football League. You that's why you have the roster you have. You can't win 10 games turning the ball over 5 times. I don't get who lines up. That's the part we got to get right. The giveaways took us out of that game in the second half. Yeah, we missed a lot of our good players, but these young guys, I believe in them. We just got to continue to work.
Cooper,
I love how he says that, and then Jared Goff proceeds to turn the ball over 5 times and win a football game.
Yeah.
It can happen. McCarthy.
Can happen. That's a championship team there. A much different ball game than. And then look at what Joe Burrow did on Thursday night. He threw 5 touchdown passes in a loss, right? You got Goff throwing 5 interceptions and still winning. You need a good team to win it all. That's obvious. Cooper Rush started the game, did not finish. 13 of 23 for 45 yards. Nice job. That's impressive. That's impressive, Cooper. Nice work there. Ben DiNucci might have been a better option. Might have.
Probably not.
Might have. Trey Lance. How bad is Trey Lance if he can't get in there and get the starting opportunity?
Yeah, I think we got the answer to that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure as well. Again, Eagles, dominant performance. On to the next one. More of the same. We'll continue talking some birds. Let's get around the NFL, though, from the big spots. And I think we should start with the 49ers barely getting by the Bucs, because there's a lot of buildup about this Niners team. I just don't know if it's there. What is your take on this Niners team? Are they going to be difficult come playoff time? You think they're going to be able to step it up another level now that you got McCaffrey back into the mix? Again, 23-20. They were 7-point favorites at kick. Did not cover the number. Wasn't really the best game from start to finish, but a win is a win, and it's not easy to win on the road. But, man, that Buccaneers offense is awful.
Well, yeah, it's injured to the point of they aren't fielding a legit NFL offense. And they just lost, I think, Wirfs as well, just got hurt with an MCL sprain.
Yes, he did.
So they have absolutely nothing. Credit to Baker for still being competitive in these games, because it could very easily go the other way. But I feel like he's been a little bit competitive. They try to run the ball a little bit more, and Bucky Irving has been good in that aspect. But they are a team that's down their top 2 wide receivers, and now they're going to look like a team that's down one of their top offensive linemen. I think for the San Francisco side, it's definitely they're still playing well. Mm-hmm. Like if I were to look at EPA, I'm sure their EPA would be through the roof and still be very good. And even with Brock Purdy had some really good numbers as well yesterday. But they just seem to be losing in the smaller aspect of things. Like just something seems a little bit off with San Francisco.
Correct.
The problem is, though, that all the numbers are suggesting that it's still very good. And if they were to connect on some of those smaller things, that they would still be a really good football team. But this has been pretty consistent now through 9 games for San Francisco, that whether it's a big pass play that Brock Purdy just seems to be a little bit off on, or a drop pass, or not running the ball as well, or missing field goals like they did yesterday.
Yeah.
It just seems like there's a lot of small things that are starting to pile up for San Francisco. It's just that once it does get good, how good can San Francisco be? And I still think that they're a very good football team. But there does seem to be something holding them back right now.
Defensively, they still have some studs out there. Offensively, I just think they got to get some reps with, of course, McCaffrey back into the mix. That's only going to help things. Purdy's playing well. That's not taking a shot at him at all. I think Purdy's delivering and then some. He threw for over 350
maybe
yesterday.
not delivering as much as he was last year, which was like crazy good stuff.
Yeah.
But it's still good enough that they should be fine and they should be winning. And I don't think it's his problem at all.
They're 5-4 at this point in time. The Cardinals, with their win yesterday, they're 6-4. They're on top of the division. We got the Rams tonight, Monday Night Football. They're 4-4. Seahawks are in last place at 4-5.
Seahawks look bad.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But from the standpoint of where we're at with this Niners team, to win the division, where are we at? Like, how many wins are they going to end up with that after it's all said and done this year? Division for the West at this point in time on DraftKings Sportsbook, the Niners are plus 160, so that's a good number there. Let me pull up the.
But it's a really tough schedule, though, like incredibly tough schedule, and that's why that loss to Arizona ends up, I think, becoming a big deal because they had that game won.
Oh yeah, they did,
and they end up basically like throwing the game away. And Arizona won that, and that's a huge win because now San Francisco has to go on the road against Green Bay, or they play Seahawks next. But then after that, on the road against Green Bay, on the road against Buffalo, they play LA. They're on the road against Miami, which Miami, I know they're 2-6, but that's still a dangerous team in my eyes, and I think we'll see that tonight. Then they have Detroit as well, and their final game is going to be against Arizona. I mean, it's tight. They're a playoff team, and I think they'll be a playoff team. I imagine, though, we could be seeing San Francisco and Arizona in that last week of the season. That could be for the division.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're getting to that point where San Francisco has dropped enough of these games, and especially some games they should have won. They dropped enough of those. Now they're getting to their hardest part of the schedule, and they probably will drop a couple more. So I think we're kind of headed towards a collision course with them in Arizona.
Plus 160 to win the division. I think that's a good play right there. If you're looking for something to get involved with that division or with the Niners, if you believe, plus 160 to win the West, as you pointed out. Tough stretch of games, but with that final game against Arizona, I have more confidence in the 49ers to keep it going than the Arizona Cardinals, who have played well. Played really well.
That's fair, but then also I think we have to bring into the conversation the Rams, and they could any day. Not to say that they are my favorites to win the division. I think they're a good team. They're just so darn competitive, especially when they're healthy, that they can beat San Francisco on any given day. They can beat Arizona clearly on any given day. And I think there are some people that would believe that the Rams are better than Arizona, and I'm an Arizona guy, but I could see that. I could see that because when I've seen the Rams healthy, Matthew Stafford's great, and this offense is really good, and it's a winning team when they have all their players available. It's just not always the case, but it's the case right now. They seem to be healthy, so they're even a dangerous team too. So that the West is getting really interesting.
The week that was NFL Week 10, NFL underdogs 10-3 against ATS, and 5 outright wins. Heading into tonight's game, once again, Dolphins and Rams, DraftKings Sportsbook, where we're getting our number from here. And we were holding steady at 2. I did see that. Now it's 2.5. Rams 2.5-point favorites, 48.5. We'll get your thoughts on that before we get out of here. I bring up the underdogs covering because we did have a pretty big underdog cover in the Chiefs and Broncos game, and we almost had an outright upset, 35-yard field goal as the clock struck 0 in KC, and it was blocked. And it's no surprise because the Chiefs are that team. It's just funny because I wanted to see them lose, right? I did. I wanted that field goal to go through it. That would have been a huge win for the Broncos, of course, knocked them off with the perfect record. And it's Mahomes at home, so who doesn't want to see him lose? But that's what championship teams do. They find ways to win games like Detroit did yesterday, like Kansas City did. And I got to give them credit on that one. Ugly game, though, but they improved to 9-0, 16-14 final. Your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, Mahomes did not play well. There were plenty of opportunities. Kansas City should have won this game no matter what. I thought they were the better team in this game, and they had plenty of opportunities. They just kept missing them. Mahomes missed a couple of touchdown passes. I think he missed one to Travis Kelce. He missed one down the field to Worthy, I think. There were so many passes I saw from him that were it's there. Like, the play is there. It's there to be made. And if you make that kind of play, you're probably going to win this game easy, especially because we know Denver can't move the ball very well, and especially against Kansas City's defense, which is really good. So if that's my conclusion, that they would have won this game if Patrick Mahomes would have played well, the good thing is for Kansas City, guess what's going to happen? Is Mahomes is going to play better. And I think he has played better at times this year. He's been up and down. It's not been his best season, but Mahomes is still Mahomes, and he's going to be it's just a sign of a great player and a sign of one of the best players of all time is that he could probably turn it on whenever he wants. And once you get to bigger games and certainly get to the playoffs, Mahomes will be just fine. So if that's how I'm talking about Kansas City and that's their issue, that's not an issue to me. It's just something that was an issue in this game.
All right, moving off of that one, but staying with some heavy hitters from yesterday's game, I guess we can go to what we witnessed. What?
I mean, we're not going to talk about the Steelers?
Well, that's where I was going.
Okay. I mean,
it was a tough game because I think the Commanders should have won that game.
Thought they should have won that game.
Should have won that game.
I thought it was close. I thought they were two even teams. I thought they were great. I thought it was a fun ball game to watch.
It was a fun ball game. You're right about that. Russell Wilson, 3 touchdowns in the air. For everybody I was talking about, Justin Fields. There you
Danger
go.
Russ is back.
Danger Russ is back. He takes shots downfield. That's my only issue. It's like, it's coming. And why are you not defending it a little bit better? I don't know. Maybe I'll make it a little bit more simpler than what it is. But
this is the good thing with Pittsburgh is that they run the ball and they stick to the run. So it's a great situation for him because, they will have opportunities to throw the ball down the field. They have the players to do that as well in terms of wide receivers with George Pickens especially and Mike Williams too. Yeah, Mike Williams. What a great play that was. And so it's just, I think it works. The Steelers now they don't have a creative offense. They don't have something that is like a Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay. This is an innovative offense, but it works for what they do. And Russell Wilson, I think, fits it. And it's the reason why that I really liked the move going back to Russell Wilson after he got healthy, instead of keeping in Justin Fields, because Wilson just fits what they do better.
Where are we at, though, as far as the ceiling is concerned with Pittsburgh?
Who knows? They're 7-2.
Yes, I know.
This is because I saw 6-2 yesterday, and it didn't compute in my head of, this is a good Steelers team. This is that good of a Steelers team. It's a first place Steelers team over Baltimore.
Yes.
So I don't know what my expectations would be, because it is still Russell Wilson. There are still issues with Russell Wilson in this stage of his career. And Pittsburgh isn't overly abundantly talented on offense. And it's not creative. Again, Arthur Smith just runs a pretty vanilla offense. But it all seems to be working. And in the playoffs, a team like this, they can win a game or two. Like, their defense is good enough that they're going to keep their offense in games. It's really just going to come down to, can the offense not turn the ball over too much? Can Russell hit some of those big plays like he did against Washington? Because the defense is going to deliver a lot of the time, and it's especially, I think, going to deliver in the playoffs. It's up to the offense, and I think we're starting to see that the offense is good enough at times. So I don't know if they're a contender for anything in the AFC, but I don't know who's good in the AFC. I don't know what's happening in the NFL this year, because Washington and Pittsburgh looked like a game between two contenders, even though I don't know if I believe that entirely about either of those two teams. Yet it looked like a great game. It looked like two really good teams. And so Pittsburgh, they're competitive enough that, they're going to make some noise in the playoffs. It's just, I don't think they're going to go incredibly far.
No, and that's where I'm at as well. I like Tomlin. The defense is playing well. I like the idea of Russ bouncing back. I thought he always got a little bit of a bad rap there. He always seemed like a guy that I would like to play with, right?
Really?
Yeah. Russ seems like
seems like you wouldn't like it. He doesn't seem authentic. I thought you would like more authenticity out of.
He's a winner. He's a winner. He's playing well now.
Enough.
And that was a nice win yesterday. Once again, they won 28-27, a battle of the division leaders at that point in time. To Daniels, rookie quarterback, 17-34, 202, no touchdowns, no interceptions. Did run the ball 3 times for 5 yards. So Terry McLaurin, you got to watch out for him. They have some decent receivers. Ertz, did he have the first down in your mind? I did not think he did.
It was close.
It was about as close as it gets.
Yeah. I thought initially he had it. Until then I saw the line judge come out, and I figured they weren't going to get that when they challenged it, because the line judge was way off from where I thought. So maybe I just saw it wrong. But initially I thought he had it. I thought it was pretty easy.
So Ertz will make his return. I'm pretty sure he was back here last year with the Cardinals, right? Wasn't he with the Cardinals last year?
Did he get traded before then?
I don't even remember.
I think he did. I think he did. He get? Yeah, I think he might have gotten traded. That was a late season.
Is Zach Ertz making his return to the league?
Did he ever get traded? I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what to dig a
Trey
little bit deeper.
McBride took over essentially a tight end.
Yeah.
So I can't remember if he stayed or not.
But they have a decent receiving core. Obviously, running the football, they got a nice little mixture there going on for them with Eckler and company. What's the latest with Robinson? He's hurt, but he's been dealing with all injuries. I know McNichols got in there yesterday, scored a touchdown, and of course Daniels is able to run the football effectively as well. So this is trying to think as far as the quarterbacks that the Eagles have faced recently, as far as scrambling is concerned. I don't think they've faced many that can move like Daniels can.
Cooper Rush can move a little bit.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones. Maybe.
Yeah, you got to give it up to him. He can run the football. You're right about that.
Deshaun, I guess.
Yeah, not so much. Those days are.
No, they haven't really played any scrambling.
A 3-point spread right here, right now.
Well, they have 2 coming up in the next 3 weeks because a couple games after Washington, they face Baltimore.
That's right, on the 1st. We'll be live.
Better get ready to learn scrambling drills.
That's right.
Yeah.
We'll be live at the Penn Club
Hello.
in Conshohocken for that one, December 1st. More information a little bit later this month. We got a lot going on here with the Gambler. A lot going on as far as the NFL is concerned, and we will be continuing to hit on everything from the week that was and college football as well. I got Jon Jansen here for another 10 minutes. We'll hit on some of the anarchy that took place on Saturday, and of course, get your thoughts on all things Monday Night Football, Rams and Dolphins. Will it be a good game, Jon Jansen?
I think it will be a good game. I think we see a lot of offense. I think we see a ton of offense.
I got one play, and I'm pretty
over.
Feeling pretty good about this play.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to give it to us.
I'll give it to you on the other side. It's the Daily Ticket. Sidney Brown will be live from Chickies and Pizza in Marlton for the All-Pro Philly Players Show. Gerald Colton, Dave Spadaro will be hosting with Sidney Brown, who is making a name for himself on special teams, forced a fumble against Jacksonville, and has played really well. Just a guy that you definitely want in your foxhole, as they say. Well, he'll be live at Chicks and Pizza in Marlton, 6 p.m. tonight, the All-Pro Philly Players Show coming your way. Don't touch that down. More Daily Ticket after this.
Spreads, totals, and all the prop bets in between. It's The Gambler. Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Bridging up on the Schuylkill westbound University Divine and Boulevard to Belmont. Eastbound, so Blue Route to the Conshohocken Curve and Girard to South. The Vine Expressway eastbound tied up Schuylkill to Broad, 95 northbound. Stop and go Girard up to Bridge, southbound backed up Cottman to Bridge. Fire to tell total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Lowe's knows you want to get more value for the holiday. That's why as a My Lowe's Rewards member, you get new member deals every week on holiday decor, tools, and more. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for full details, subject to change.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I release your Monday Night Report absolutely free on recorded message line. 1-800-808-3481. Miami at Los Angeles tonight is going to be a monster game, and I've got the side and total. Miami, Los Angeles, confirmed analysis, college and pro hoops, plus special prop action. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Hear them for free on recorded message. 1-800-808-3481. Information wins. John Anthony Sports. Number 1 against the spread. Call 1-800-808-3481. You want the information? I've got it. Miami, LA, plus hoops and special prop action. I'd love to go 5-0 this season free. 1-800-808-3481. That's 1-800-808-3481. Or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Barbera! Drive like Brandon Graham! During Gary Barbera's Veteran and U.S. Marines Toys for Tots celebration!
How do we do it?
We
stock them deep and we sell them cheap. Tell them, Brandon Graham.
Boy, I get it.
Hello.
Turkey.
Grand turkey.
And at Barbera's Compass Corner,
It's Black Friday every day.
your choice.
$249 a month.
For 0% factory financing.
For 72 months.
Philadelphia's Credit Connection.
Zero down, you're driving around Philly Tech.
That's a lease.
No, that is not a lease.
I'll say it again, so you know where and when.
Your choice. 0% for 72 months.
For $249 a month.
Now that's a boom shakalaka.
0% 72 months, $249 a month, 24 Compass Limited. Approved credit, well qualified class. Supplies lab, including tax tag 464 doc fee. For details, 1-800-Barbera.com.
For the veterans, every day's Black Friday.
Barbera!
Your brand new Barbera Jeep Compass Limited. Your choice. 0% for 72 months. $249 a month.
Jeep's cheap. Is Barbera the best?
Hang on, you tell him, Brandon Graham.
Boy, I get it.
With its new look and taste, Dasani is always crisp, clean, and refreshing. So, when thirst calls, answer with the new refreshed taste of Dasani water, now without salt. Learn more at Dasani.com.
Attention! If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 385-557-6498. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 385-557-6498. That's 385-557-6498.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. And that's because so much of your personal info is out of your control. Like your doctor's office that has your social security number. But not everyone who has your data is careful. That's why companies are offering LifeLock as an employee benefit. LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Look for Norton LifeLock benefit plans during open enrollment and learn more at lifelock.com/benefits.
iHeartRadio is your #1 app for the holidays. Just open the app and search Holiday and start listening now. You'll see your local holiday radio station, plus all kinds of other holiday stations, playlists, and podcasts. iHeartRadio. Free never sounded so good.
Order for Jennifer C. Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve? Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine? Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Well, I do now. Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year? Yeah, you just said that. Did you say I just said that? Yeah, I'm cutting you off. Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com. Daily Ticket on a victorious Monday for your Philadelphia Eagles. A lot going on with the Gambler this week. First and foremost, Villanova back in the win column on Friday. Men's Hoops returns tomorrow at St. Joe's. A little Big 5 tip coming your way here on City Line Avenue at Hagen Arena. The pregame coverage will start at 4:30, and then on Friday they're playing Virginia in a tournament in Baltimore, I believe. So the big week for the Cats. Nice bounce back, as I said, after losing a tough one last week. And then we will be live with our friends from Green Legion. Quimby giving us the keys to the caddy on Thursday. So we'll be live from Xfinity Live, getting you ready for the Commanders and Birds from 4 to 5 p.m. And I'm heading back up 76, and I'm going to be taking my talents to McKillicuddy's, hosting the in-game, DJ and deal. Live, we're blocking the street off. That's at 7 p.m. We're starting there. So it's going to be chaos in Manayunk on Thursday. And hopefully the Eagles.
You know what? The Gambler handles chaos well.
We do.
We do.
We do. We define chaos. You're right about that.
I don't know
Including
if we define chaos, but we
including-
are chaos.
Including tonight, we're live. Chickies and Pizza Marlton. Sydney Brown will be sitting down with the gang. Looking forward to hearing what Sydney Brown's story is all about. And he's definitely a high flyer that caught all of our attention at Illinois, and great draft selection by Howie Roseman, and proven his worth. Every opportunity he gets, which isn't a lot. We know how special teams work. Seems like he's racing down the field and making a name for himself. So really,
Of course, a couple weeks ago, I had to play his brother, Chase Brown.
That's right. I do remember that. I'm sure Gerald does a great job with hosting, and I'm sure he'll be bringing that up, and so does Dave as well. So really exciting. Oh, also tomorrow, the NBA Cup is back, the Emirates NBA Cup, and we have a special takeover. Sean Bernard and myself at DraftKings Sportsbook taking it over from 3 to 4 p.m. All things NBA Cup, getting you ready for the Sixers and Knicks. Sixers
NBA Cup is starting already.
Yep. Tuesdays and Fridays. You got a double promotion going on with DraftKings. Make sure you take advantage of all that. We'll get you ready to go for, I believe, 8 games on the night. And as I said, Sixers and Knicks will be featured in that mix.
I'm going to need to tune in because I need to catch up on everything.
There you go.
For NBA Cup.
Nobody.
I had no idea it was here.
Nobody better than Sean Bernard. That's right. So we got you covered tomorrow from 3 to 4 p.m. and on Friday as well, 3 to 4 p.m. All right, staying with the NFL, we talked a lot about the winners. Let's talk about the losers, the Jets. All of that nonsense in the offseason, all that build up for what? For what? The team is a disaster. No heart. They have been just going down the wrong path defensively since they fired Saleh. Offensively, you go out there and you make the move to bring in Aaron Rodgers' boy, Devontae Adams. Nothing really working. 31-6 in a game that they had everything going for them. They had the bye week. You make all the moves. The press clippings were all in their favor.
You just beat Houston. I mean, you just got a big win.
Got a big win. And you lose 31-6 on the road in Arizona. And it's the way that they lost because it didn't feel like there was a lot of effort. Really didn't.
No, Kyler was 22 of 24. Pretty much was unchallenged the entire game. The EPA per drive was by far for Arizona the best in the league for week 10 so far. And I mean by like miles. They got beat down, but they essentially, they're giving up.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think Robert Saleh did have a good grasp on defensive concepts, and they've kind of lost that. And so their defense is slipping further and further and further away what it was. But they are too talented to play like that. I like Arizona. Arizona's not that good. I like Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray has been playing very well this season.
Mm-hmm.
But to not challenge him whatsoever in any way, that's unacceptable. So I just there's no reason to talk about the Jets anymore. It's over.
No.
I mean, what? So Rodgers gets another chance next season. Retool, reload, and it's over. Like there's no way any of this is going to work. And so now all you talk about is when is Aaron Rodgers going to hang it up, and when can people talk about the rest of his career? Because right now there's no reason to talk about the near end of his career.
Look, I'm appreciative of what Aaron Rodgers was in Green Bay. He's clearly not the same quarterback. He has times where he can show you that he still has the arm strength, the rifle, the accuracy, but it hasn't worked. And I don't know what happens this offseason. I would assume they went out and got his guy in Devontae. So Aaron's going to want to come back for another year.
Most likely, but
Rodgers could hang it up too.
I think we know the end result of that.
Yeah, that's it.
And maybe you're right that I don't know if Rodgers is going to want to hang it up because I don't know. He always thinks of legacy, and I think he's going to want to give it another shot with the Jets.
Yeah.
I just think there is probably going to be a longer conversation about hanging it up after this season because it has gotten that bad. And I think there is a writing on the wall here that it might not ever get better with him there. So maybe that does accelerate some of those conversations for him.
He might be able to get a job in the White House too. His boy's there.
Sure.
Yeah.
How about he just goes on a remote island with some ayahuasca and just hangs out?
Rodgers ain't doing that. He's
go off into the abyss.
He might be into politics. He might himself go into politics. He could sit there and say he's a guy that loves the attention. So
is anyone going to give him the bag to be in the booth? Like, is anyone going to show up with
It's a good call. It's a good call. because I think he'd be pretty
sum of money for him.
He'd be decent. I don't know. He's kind of quiet.
He's a little dry.
Yeah, a little dry. So I don't know. But I don't mind him. I really don't. I hate when he says dumb stuff to get a reaction, but whatever. I think everybody does that anyways. All right, staying with the losers, because we hit on a lot of the winners to open up shop here.
Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in the mix, though, because I know a lot of people want to say Caleb Williams is a bust, but he has
this is just,
the offensive line is a disaster.
The offensive scheme, like it's all from the top down broken.
Yeah.
And so it's breaking the quarterback a little bit, but I think he's a good enough talent that he can get by this. And I don't think he picks up as many bad habits before this scheme or this coaching staff is out of there. So that's the only hope, is that he kind of gets through this season unscathed. Again, doesn't form too many bad habits, and he'll be able to fix those in the coming season. But it's over for this current coaching regime. It's bad.
Yeah.
I mean, everything top to bottom is really bad.
6-point favorites. 6-point favorites. They couldn't even get a touchdown. 19-3, your final score. Again, storyline for me starts and ends 9 sacks. So for people who want to say, you want to have that conversation about Caleb Williams? Well, we can start with the offensive line and we'll go from there. He's not playing well.
Everybody have to have a conversation after like something. Yeah, because Caleb Williams came in with all this hype, I get it, but you can't just like watch the Bears play and go, all right, well, there's no fair way to evaluate this. Can't that just be easy? It's his first year. It's his rookie year. It's a head coaching regime that we know is probably on the way out. I don't know. I just feel like now all of a sudden it just has to go to the quarterback. So you guys were telling me this about this quarterback. Let's have the conversation now. No, I think we're having the conversation a little bit too early.
Yeah.
And so everybody crowned CJ Stroud, and now they're going, oh, well, now we have to have a conversation about CJ Stroud. No, we don't. CJ Stroud's fine. Houston's not as good as we thought.
Yeah.
And they're down their top wide receiver, by the way, which is sort of a big deal for any offense. So maybe we should wait until that guy comes back to really make some fair evaluations. But I don't think CJ Stroud's playing all that bad. People just talk about quarterbacks in the weirdest way. And like, I'm starting to just get tired of it. Like, we don't have to have conversations about Caleb Williams yet. Relax. Absolutely relax about that.
I like that. All right. Again, sticking with the losers, and there were a lot of them, but I think the Chicago Bears are probably top dog. However, there was a game that did start the day off yesterday. Don't know if you paid too much attention to it, but the Giants and the Carolina Panthers, again, another 6-point favorite where I'm like, wait, who's giving
Couldn't
6
believe
points?
that. Yeah, Chicago and New York, I could not believe were favorites.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And both of them lost outright. I know that the Giants were done in by the fumble in overtime, but still, Panthers were the better team. And the Giants, they might need to clean house. I don't think
that Dable's already talking about that they are going to evaluate things. They asked about Daniel Jones and if he's going to start this week, and he said, we're evaluating.
Hey, look, the Giants will have the number 1 overall pick if the draft happened today.
No, they're getting a quarterback.
So they could get Shedeur Sanders.
Are you a Shedeur or Cam guy?
It's a good question. I could probably be talked into either one. Right now, man, Shedeur is very smooth. I like what Shedeur brings to the table.
I think Shedeur is incredibly smooth.
Yes, he is. Cam is a hell of a thrower, though, but
just a big-time playmaker.
If you made me make the number 1 overall selection for a quarterback,
and that throw that Cam had
Shedeur
to start the game against Georgia Tech, with the zip, the accuracy, and anticipation he had on that throw. It's like, I always think of Cam as more of like a gunslinger. He has all of these great tools, so he's going to be more, I would say, quote unquote, a playmaker than Shedeur Sanders. And Shedeur is the fundamental guy. He's fundamentally more sound. He's great in the pocket. He moves in the pocket extremely well, has a consistent, good throwing motion. But to see Cam Ward make that kind of throw, I think it is a bit more of a conversation, I thought, between those two. But either way, the Giants are going to be asking this question and having the same conversation right now because Daniel Jones is not it. We knew.
No, yeah, it was a disaster of a contract when he got it. And Saquon Barkley, is he making $12 million a year? I think it's $12 million.
Something, yeah, I think $12 million.
It's great. Absolutely great.
And then I've mentioned this. All these running backs that are like off-season signings that are doing well, add Joe Mixon into that.
Joe Mixon's been incredible for Houston.
I don't know. Paying running backs seems like a good thing. Paying good running backs. Obviously, don't pay every running back. Not all running backs are the same or created equal, and some are better than others. But hey, if there's a good running back out there, probably pay him. I think that's an easy thing for me now to say.
All right. Quickly on this, I don't have much to add, but that was a big-time loss by the Falcons. Ugly, ugly game. Saints end up getting a number.
Falcons are not good. They're just the best of a not great NFC South.
I agree with that. Monday Night Football once again tonight. The Rams and the Dolphins. Which way are you going? 2.5 point spread.
Man, I'm going to go with the Rams, but I'm not completely convinced on that because I think Miami's offense actually played really well, and they ran into a good Buffalo team, and Josh Allen was pretty much dicing up that defense. But that's the problem is that Matthew Stafford can likely do the same. But I've been really impressed with Miami's offense. I thought after Tua got hurt and the way that they played that they would kind of be out of it and maybe not as much motivation. They have played very well, and I think that's a competitive team that could absolutely go into Los Angeles and beat a team like the Rams.
Puka Nakua's over receiving yards is like the number one prop play on DraftKings Sportsbook. Of course, you got Williams to score an anytime touchdown at -220. So a lot of love for LA. To your point, watch out for the Dolphins, though, because I think they can score some points as well with Achane, possibly Waddle getting an opportunity now with Tua back there. But I like the Rams. I really do. I'm a big-time Rams supporter in this one, -2.5. I'll give that. I think that they're going to win by more than a field goal. So I'm going to back the LA Rams at home with a team that's playing really, really well, especially on offense as of late. Quickly on this one, get your thoughts as far as college football is concerned and the anarchy that was from the weekend. Is there a team that you're fearing more than most in college football after what we just saw?
Is there any team to fear?
Oregon's not the top-notch team. Texas looked good.
Do you fear Oregon that much?
No.
I don't know who there is to fear because I think the Alabama I saw against LSU and the way Jalen Milroe played more as a runner, I thought
looked good.
I felt great about that. I said for Alabama, if they're going to win this game and their offense get back on track, run Jalen a little bit more. And Jalen Milroe ran all over him. That's his superpower. That is something that is going to potentially, if they are going to win things, that's the thing offensively that they can do that can get them to those places. So to me, Alabama could beat Oregon. I think anybody can beat Oregon. I don't think Oregon's this unbeatable team. Georgia, I cannot believe just how awful they looked.
Yeah, they were
how
bad.
awful Carson Beck has looked. They might be completely on the side of the conversation for me in terms of winning anything because their offense can't figure it out. Maybe Texas is good, and I don't. Even though I don't think Quinn Ewers played that well, Miami's defense, they cannot be competitive whatsoever with that defense. And Ohio State, fine, but I don't think their offense is as good as they have been in previous years, and that means they are beatable this year. I don't know who's good. I really couldn't tell you.
Ohio State and Indiana in 2 weeks. That's going to be a hell of a showdown. Looking forward to that one.
But Indiana didn't even look all that
No,
impressive. They played
looked
like a Michigan team that is maybe one of the more competitive teams that Indiana has played so far, and they looked okay. They looked like just any other Big Ten team against Michigan.
Yeah, we do have a good one coming up with Tennessee and Georgia, and a lot of anarchy again from the weekend that was Miami.
Yeah, I think the anarchy just comes in. I have no idea who's great.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Well, you know who is great? Leonardo
Me?
DiCaprio.
Oh, okay.
And he turned 50 today. Leo turned 50. What's your favorite Leonardo DiCaprio movie, Johnny Cinema?
Wow, it's The Departed. Always The Departed.
Yeah, The Departed.
The Departed is a phenomenal movie. I think it's one of the greatest movies of all time.
I agree.
And maybe Killers of the Flower Moon was a really good performance by him, but I'll go with Departed. I'll stay there.
I liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I thought he did well in that one.
Yes, Brad Pitt stole the show for me.
We still haven't talked about Titanic.
Brad Pitt stole the show for me there.
All right.
Titanic was all right.
Come on.
But it's not like an all-time Leo performance. He's done better.
I agree with that. All right. You are heading to Jersey to take on the reins of getting the fine All-Pro Philly Players Show up and on the air. That's coming your way at 6 p.m. Cindy Brown from the Philadelphia Eagles will be live on location. So get on out, Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, and support the Gambler Gang. Gerald Colton, Dave Spadero, and Sydney Brown tonight from 6 to 7 p.m. Nice work, Jon Jansen. I will be back on the other side. I'm going to continue to talk some college football. We also have some NBA to get to and some college basketball.
Well, can I give rapid fire takes real quick? Quick, rapid fire. Watch out for the Chargers. Anthony Richardson not starting is laughable. Doug Peterson is coaching one of the worst offenses I've ever seen in my life. Needs to be fired.
He will. I think there's going to be like 8 openings at the end of the season. Anthony Richardson needs to be starting. Like, who cares? Who cares? That's like a big talking point
who
today.
cares? But also, it was quite easily it was a dumb decision immediately when we saw it. And I know like Anthony Richardson has his problems. I get it, but it was pretty dumb. Like that was a decision. Everybody went, well, that's not going to work. Well, and guess what? It clearly is not working.
I would go back to them, but they're not. They're starting Flacco again on Sunday.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like get him. All right, find yourself someone who loves you as much as Adam Shine loves himself. Good grief! You see all the Shine paraphernalia behind him. Anyways,
he's shining.
There you go. There, let's take a road on. A lot to get to. Don't go anywhere. More after this.
Spreads, totals, and all the prop bets in between. It's the Gambler.
Hey, Sean Brace here for DraftKings Sportsbook. Listen up. The Emirates NBA Cup is finally here. You can win big getting in on the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. All 30 teams split into 6 groups every Tuesday and Friday, playing for the right to advance in the single elimination in-season tournament, with the final in the NBA Cup Championship taking place in Vegas. Your first time? Well, here's something special just for you. New DraftKings customers bet $5 to get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook. Every point counts. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code BRACE. That's code BRACE for new customers to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Now, it's only at DraftKings Sportsbook. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
At the Home Depot, the holidays have arrived.
And so is all my family. So I'm working on keeping up with the laundry.
The Home Depot is here to help with Black Friday savings up to 40% off select appliances. Spend less time doing laundry with smart, efficient appliances from Samsung, ranked #1 in customer satisfaction.
Perfect. Less laundry time means more family time.
Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances at the Home Depot. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
When something happens to your kitchen and you say,
"This is ludicrous,"
you get
having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm.
That's right. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
I feel like I'm constantly cleaning hair off my bathroom floor. At least my Swiffer sweeper makes it easy. Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths have ultra-thick pads to trap and lock hairs, like a hair magnet. And when I'm finished cleaning up my hair, Sweeper takes care of his too. Now the hair's gone, all thanks to Swiffer. Try Swiffer Sweeper heavy-duty dry cloths. I promise you'll love them or your money back. And also try Swiffer Sweeper Wet to make quick work of tough, sticky messes.
At the American Lung Association, we're fighting for a day when we can all breathe easier. We're fighting for clear skies over every city and healthy lungs throughout the country. We're fighting to free millions of Americans from the addictive grip of tobacco and the devastating effects of lung disease. The American Lung Association isn't just fighting for air, we're fighting for all the things that make it worth breathing, and we can use your help. See what you can do at fightingforair.org.
This is the sound of holiday happiness. Yeah, Ready Whip. Fun to use, fun to eat. You're not ready for the holidays without Ready Whip.
Here's what's trending from the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings, the official partner of the NBA.
Week 10 of the NFL season wraps up tonight with Matthew Stafford and the Rams host Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins. Eagles left tackle Jordan Mailata is ready to come back from a hamstring injury. His 21-day window to be activated from IR opened today. And over to hockey, where the Flyers are back to work tonight when they host San Jose. Philly will try to bounce back from that shootout loss to Florida that happened Saturday. I'm Scott Davidson.
The NBA Cup is here. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet player props. New customers, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SPORTS to get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. That's code SPORTS. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/bball.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Watch for a crash, New Garden Township, Baltimore Pike at Bancroft Road. One in Lower Oxford Township, Limestone Road at Connor Road. Stop-and-go traffic on 95 northbound Girard up to Bridge, southbound back to Coppin to Bridge. Again on the Schuylkill westbound University Divine and Boulevard to Belmont. Artatella total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Dell Technologies.
During Dell Technologies Black Friday event, save on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Shop Dell.com/deals.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I release your Monday Night Report absolutely free on recorded message line. 1-800-808-3481. Miami at Los Angeles tonight is going to be a monster game, and I've got the side and total. Miami, Los Angeles, confirmed analysis, college and pro hoops, plus special prop action. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Hear them for free on recorded message. 1-800-808-3481. Information wins. John Anthony Sports. Number one against the spread. Call 1-800-808-3481. You want the information? I've got it. Miami, LA, plus hoops and special prop action. I'd love to go 5-0 this season free. 1-800-808-3481. That's 1-800-808-3481. Or go to johnanthonysports.com.
When you hear Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, you probably think of larger-than-life balloons and show-stopping performers. But this year, for the first time, you should also think of incredible deals, because Macy's is counting down to the big day with our first ever parade of deals happening now. We have big savings on gifts, like 25 to 40% off sweaters and fleece. And every day, find new deals online all the way through the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a colonial with high ceilings, hardwood floors, and a peaceful neighborhood. And you found it. Now, every Saturday at 6 a.m., you get to wake to the sound of your neighbor's leaf blower. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Hey, this is Kyle Brandt. You're busy. I'm busy. But every single Monday, we take 10 minutes to dish out 10 takes. NFL, life, whatever, but never more than 10 minutes. It's 10 takes with Kyle Brandt. Driving home from work? You got time for 10 takes. Taking a smoke break? You still smoke? You got time for 10 takes.
Listen to 10 Takes with Kyle Brandt on America's #1 podcast network, iHeart. Open your free iHeart app and search 10 Takes with Kyle Brandt and start listening.
Your home for Villanova basketball is WDAS and WD273D, Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia.
Ten takes, huh? I'd say every day I'm giving you 10 takes or so here on the Daily Ticket. Not doing it in 10 minutes, though. No, that's for damn sure. A lot to get to. College football from the weekend, and we look ahead to some of the big games, including, Georgia and Tennessee. That's leading the charge right now, but we know that there are plenty of other teams that are in the horizon, talking about playoffs, all of that. It's crazy. A lot of people thought that this 12-team playoff was going to make life easier. I could see some anarchy, and I still see it. I still believe it's going to happen. But again, a lot of losses still to be had on the calendar here, with only 3 college football Saturdays left. I want to say only 3. That's sad. Huh. And then we get the bowl season, and our GBC will be back. Gambler Bowl Challenge, but things are going to be a little bit different this season with the 12-team playoff mixed in as well. Of course, the NBA rolling on, and even college basketball. Now, we talked a little bit about Villanova and what they have coming up on their schedule right here. Catch all the action, Fox Sports Radio Philadelphia and the Villanova Sports Radio Network. Both can be found on the iHeartRadio app. Tell a friend. But as far as college hoops is concerned, we got ourselves a great week in front of us, including Duke and Kentucky, which I want to say is tomorrow. I believe that is going down today or tomorrow, excuse me. I was watching a little bit of Michigan yesterday. It's just like, man, all right, a little bit of everything happening right now. The numbers did come up too. Villanova is a 2-point favorite tomorrow against St. Joe's at 5 o'clock tomorrow tip-off here. But again, all these numbers popping, or all these games popping up here. But a big week as far as college hoops is concerned, and we're off and running, like I said, with Duke and some of the big-time games that they got coming up. Michigan State and Kansas, I believe, is tomorrow as well. So we're going to talk a lot of college hoops. But over to the NBA, staying on the hardwood, and, of course, the Sixers found a way to win a ball game over the weekend, and that was against the Charlotte Hornets. LaMelo Ball ties things up, sends it to overtime, and the Sixers were able to come away with that victory and a much-needed win, that's for sure here. It was that Saturday night down at the Wells Fargo Center. Or excuse me, when was that? Friday night? Was that Friday? Jeez, it's all running together at this point in time. No, because the Sixers were in Lakers on Friday. Anyways, it was yesterday. I'm losing my mind here. 107-105 was your final score. And from the standpoint of everything with the Sixers at this point in time, the big man will be back tomorrow for the Open Cup game against the NBA Cup game against the New York Knicks. Again, as I said, DraftKings taking it over for an hour. You're going to hear a lot of radio stations doing that around the country. Ours is included, myself and Shah Bernard, getting you ready for the Sixers and Knicks and talking all things NBA Cup. But from yesterday's game, again, Yabusele had a monster performance, 8 of 13, 20 total points. I think he pulled down 8 total boards, but a really, really good game from him. And then the rookie shined. Jared McCain, his number called in a big way. He finished with 27 and was on the floor. And, he's surprising me a lot, right? Like, he's not scared of the moment. His size is definitely something that caught my attention. He's a little shorter than what I thought he was. But all in all, he's one of the main reasons why they're able to win that game yesterday, if not the reason. Paul George, I know he got dinged up yesterday's game. A little concerned about Paul George. If I'm honest with you, it might be, Father Time might be knocking on that door a little bit quicker than what we all assumed, and that is not good. He was 1 of 9 from downtown, 6 of 18 total on the evening, 15 points for Paul George. But the Sixers found a way to win a game, and that's all that matters. Got to find ways to survive and advance until you get Joel Embiid back and acclimated and able to play. I don't know what's going to happen with the back-to-backs. I believe they got Tuesday, Wednesday, I want to say, is the upcoming schedule for the Sixers. So will we be looking at a situation where, again, he's going to play in this game against the Knicks for the NBA Cup, but he's not going to play on Wednesday night against the Cleveland Cavaliers? It's very frustrating, but these are the questions that we have to ask, and I assume we will find out our answers pretty soon here. I would hope that he is going to play this back-to-back because of everything that has happened to start the season for the Sixers. Again, with the injuries and then the suspension and finally getting in here, I would hope he's going to play in both of those games. But we'll see how the Sixers are going to play that one. And we'll keep you posted on that. All things tomorrow. We do have 5 games in the association this evening. Cavs and Bulls. Cavs are 8.5-point favorites on the road in Chicago, 238 there. And as far as the Cleveland Cavaliers and what they've been able to do this year, 11-0. Great start to the season. The best start for the Cavaliers in franchise history and easily the talk of the NBA. Unfortunately, the other big thing with the NBA is the injuries that just took place over the weekend. And we've already had one with Paulo Bancaro being out for a significant period of time. Chet Holmgren got injured. He's going to be out for an extended period of time. Zion got injured over the weekend. He's going to be out for an extended period of time due to a hamstring. And Kevin Durant with the Phoenix Suns, who really had some things working in their favor. They're off to an 8-2 start this season. He's going to be out for an extended period of time, which is frustrating because these injuries are now totaling up across the league and taking a lot of fun, taking a lot of excitement out of the early part of the season. A lot of games to be played. Nobody's second guessing that, but you don't want to see these guys get injured, especially a guy like Zion, where everybody was already talking junk and he's, somewhat of a bust and he's not living up to the hype and, he can't get out of his own way. I thought he did lose a couple pounds and he looked good. He's a force. It's just frustrating to see him get hurt. One other quick note as far as the NBA as a whole is concerned, and that is for the MVP race. And I know that you're going to be bored to death to hear this, but right now, Joker is having his best season. You know that Joker's won multiple MVPs, constantly in the running. He's having his best statistical season right now for the Denver Nuggets compared to all those other years. Now, we're only, 10 games, 12 games into the season. Understood, but it is something to pay attention to. And, oh, by the way, he is your favorite to win the MVP, plus 225 at this point in time at DraftKings Sportsbook. I think that would be a good play due to what we already know when it comes to Joker's play on the court and how voters vote for him. SGA plus 330, Luka 5-1, Tatum plus 550, Anthony Edwards plus 850. We will stop there. Again, the NBA right now, the big discussion, the big topics are all things injuries from the weekend. Very frustrating. And Chet, who was playing awesome as well for the Oklahoma City Thunder. A lot of fun being able to watch them on a nightly basis. And they got a lot of talent there, so they still will be. But he's going to be out for at least 2 to 3 months at the very minimum. And that's a tough pill to swallow. All right. Anyways, NBA action tomorrow will be all over it for Sixers and Knicks Open Cup. And bringing it down with Sean Bernard from DraftKings Sportsbook at 3 p.m. for the takeover. Yeah. All right, now over to let's talk a little college football from the weekend. We jabbed at some of the big topics, of course, from the standpoint of who won and who lost. But there is more to discuss when it comes to the college football playoff. And, oh, by the way, whether or not Colorado could very well end up being in the championship game for the Big 12, which I think could happen. And, of course, if they continue to win, and Deion's got that success happening for them out there with the Buffaloes, watch out, and they're a fun watch. They were trailing against Texas Tech this weekend, and they were able to battle back. I had them, I think they were 4.5-point favorites. I had them in that one, did well on Saturday. Previous college football Saturday, I was atrocious. This weekend, I was 3-1 on my plays. So one of them happened to be Colorado, and now they're 7-2 and sole possession of the number 2 in the Big 12. Big time win, as I said, 41-27 final score. And a lot of the projections right now have Colorado in the championship game against BYU. Again, a lot of football to be played, so I'm not going to get caught up. And we all saw BYU should have very well lost that game Saturday night to Utah. Got a couple gift calls, and they have remained perfect up until this point. And that's a really good team, but so is Colorado. And you got Shador and Travis Hunter doing big things. Of course, defensively, really tough team to go up against. A lot of fun. They picked off Texas Tech 6 times in that game. And just unbelievable defensive play from Colorado when you really think about them as far as offense is concerned. Staying with the college football scene, again, Ole Miss with the upset victory over Georgia. And it was good because this is what we all wanted, right? We want a little new blood. And Georgia's pretty much done from the 12-team playoff conversation with that loss. Can Ole Miss continue to keep it going? And will they be a team that could very well win it all or, knock off some of these big teams? Yeah, if they give you that type of performance defensively, I thought was the main reason. And I don't really look at Lane Kiffin's squad and talk about defense at all. It's more offense, especially the previous week when they threw 60-plus points against Arkansas. But they were able to get Carson back 5 times and just really taking the football away as well. Defense was the main reason why they were able to win that game. Nasty, nasty weather in a really good college football game, and especially one of those games that you enjoy because you are on the right side. So I'll take that. A win is a win, baby. Rolling on. Took a little stones to back Ole Miss because we know what took place last year in that game between those two teams. And it was kind of similar, right? And kind of like the Ohio State, Penn State game we discussed, where it was like, look, we want something different here. We want Penn State to beat Ohio State, and it didn't come to fruition. This is the same way I was talking about the Georgia and Ole Miss game. And I know I took Ole Miss last year, and the game was in Georgia, and it was ugly. It was over before it even got started. This one, Dart gets hurt, and if you asked me at the end of that second drive whether or not I wanted to move my bet off the table, I would have. I would have said, no, yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Give me my money back. But, of course, they play 4 quarters, so you got to be a little patient, and defense led the charge. Georgia was cooked once they could not get it going. And offensively, as I said, the defense for Ole Miss was just after them, living in the backfield. So a nice win by Ole Miss. As far as what we're talking about with odds, though, this is what you really got to ask yourself is, can they continue it with 3 weeks left in the season? Oh, by the way, championship games, all that. We're going to learn a lot because I don't have all the answers, and a lot of people are looking for answers at this point in time. What's going to happen? Are you going to be rewarded for making your championship game? What, if a team, the tiebreakers are supposed to make things easy, but I'm telling you, there's going to be a bunch of 2-loss teams, especially from the SEC, that are being like, wait a minute, we're not in. Hopefully it's pretty easy to figure out from the standpoint of the tie-breaking conversation, but I don't think it will be. Again, right now, to win the championship, as far as DraftKings Sportsbook is concerned, Ohio State plus 320, Oregon plus 340, Texas plus 450, Georgia 8-1, Alabama 10-1, tied with Ole Miss 10-1, Tennessee 20-1, Penn State 18-1, Notre Dame. I don't think that many people are talking about Notre Dame enough. I know Mark Henry Jr. brought it up with me on Friday, talking about whether or not they have a passing attack that can compete with some of these teams. But Notre Dame has looked really good, including this weekend's win over Florida State, where they absolutely drubbed them. Indiana undefeated, money or value right there with Indiana. If you think that they could beat Ohio State in 2 weeks, yeah, 25-1 right now to win the national championship. You should be on that. Miami, Florida, or Miami 40-1, Clemson 50-1. We'll see what happens in the conference there. BYU undefeated 75-1. I don't think that they're going to win the national championship per se, but still a lot of football to be played, and that is a look at some of the odds-on favorite right here, right now, to win it all. To make the college football playoff after the weekend that was, Alabama minus 400. That's a very interesting number. Georgia minus 500 to make the college football playoff. Really intriguing there. Indiana minus 550. Looking at some of these teams as far as plus money is concerned. Is there any value there on that? Not really. A&M plus 300. Tulane 5-1. Army 9-1. Other than that, all these other teams like Tennessee minus 350 to make the playoffs. BYU minus 150. Colorado, even money at this point in time to make the playoffs. That's a tough market right there to make the college football playoff. Conference, though, one more time here as far as college football is concerned. To win the SEC, it's Texas, and I believe if the SEC championship game happened today, it'd be Texas and Alabama. Sign me up for that. But right now, plus 110 Texas to win the SEC. Alabama 5-1, Tennessee 5-1. Big Ten, you got Oregon minus 105, Ohio State plus 115, Indiana 10-1. To win the ACC, Miami, after their loss to Georgia Tech, back-to-back seasons that happened, plus 125, SMU plus 190, Clemson plus 250 there. Big 12, BYU plus 150, Colorado plus 160. That's about it as far as the major conferences are concerned. in the world of college football. So, again, only 3 weeks to play. A lot of great games on tap for this upcoming weekend. And we're going to be all over it for you here. We got 2 college football shows coming your way, Beef Up Front and the College Football Preview Podcast, talking all things college football, getting you ready for that Alabama and Mercer game. Mercer 9-1. Yeah, no shot. Penn State has Purdue this week. Let's see here. LSU in Florida. That doesn't do much for me there. To the nighttime, we got Oregon and Wisconsin. That game is in Wisconsin. Love to sit here and say Wisconsin could give them a run for their money. Don't know. Oregon 14.5-point favorites. The big one, though, Tennessee and Georgia, top 10 battle there. Third-ranked Georgia Bulldogs at this point in time, 9-point home favorites against Tennessee there. And that's about it as far as the big games coming up this weekend. But every one of these are really big games, including Clemson and Pittsburgh as well. Both teams with 2 losses on their record. Anyways, we will talk all things college football throughout the course of this week. A lot to get to. We'll figure it all out and hopefully cash a couple tickets as well. Maybe pick a couple more upsets because we have seen a bunch of those. All right, Daily Ticket rolling on. Coming up on the other side, back over to the NFL. We'll take a look at some of the numbers coming up here for NFL Week 11 and Monday Night Football as well. We'll hit some props, give you some plays that we're looking up for tonight's Rams and Dolphins game. Hopefully, get some offense in that one and not a lot of turnovers. Last night, a lot of turnovers in that Texans and Detroit game. I thought that was going to be a little bit higher scoring game, but a lot of turnovers happened. So that one took the air out of the ball on that one. But hopefully tonight we do have a lot of scoring and we're able to cash a couple same game parlays that we will fire on the other side. Let's fire up DraftKings Sportsbook, see if we can get a couple winners there. Plenty to do. Tonight, live from Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, 6 p.m., Sidney Brown, Philadelphia Eagles. Sidney Brown will be live with Gerald Colton and Dave Spadaro. That's the All-Pro Philly Players Show. No blindside tonight. It's only one and done from 6 to 7 p.m. at Chickies and Pete's in Marlton. We'll be streaming on our socials. Make sure if you can get on out there, support the crew, get on out to Chickies and Pete's in Marlton for 6 p.m. Don't go anywhere. More Daily Ticket. Back after this.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Heads up, we've had a crash on 95 northbound traffic backing up Vine Expressway to Girard. The left lane's blocked. Once you get past that, heavy from Allegheny up to Bridge, southbound, so Cottman to Bridge, then Ridley Park to 320. Blue Route southbound, so Broomall to Media Swell for Jan on the Schuylkill eastbound, Blue Route to Belmont, Montgomery Drive to south, westbound heavy University to Vine, and Boulevard to Belmont. The Vine Expressway eastbound tied up, Schuylkill to Broad. All right, to tell it, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Morgan & Morgan Injury Law Firm.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Today, we're the largest injury firm in the world, and I'm thankful to you for trusting us all these years. We'll always be here for the people, not the powerful. Injured, the choice is easy. Morgan & Morgan. Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I release your Monday Night Report absolutely free on recorded message line. 1-800-808-3481. Miami at Los Angeles tonight is going to be a monster game, and I've got the side and total. Miami, Los Angeles, confirmed analysis, college and pro hoops, plus special prop action. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Hear them for free on recorded message. 1-800-808-3481. Information wins. John Anthony Sports. Number 1 against the spread. Call 1-800-808-3481. You want the information? I've got it. Miami, LA, plus hoops and special prop action. I'd love to go 5-0 this season free. 1-800-808-3481. That's 1-800-808-3481. Or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Barbera! Drive like Brandon Graham! During Gary Barbera's
Chief!
Veteran
And U.S. Marines Toys for Tots.
Celebration!
How do we do it?
We stock them deep and we sell them cheap. Tell them, Brandon Graham.
Hello.
Turkey.
Grand Turkey.
And at Barbera's Compass Corner,
It's Black Friday every day.
your choice.
$249
a month.
Or 0% factory finance
For 72 months.
Philadelphia's credit connection.
Zero down, you're driving around Philly Tech.
That's a lease.
No, that is not a lease. I'll say it again, so you know where and when.
Your choice. 0%
For 72 months.
with $249 a month.
Now that's a boom shakalaka.
0% 72 months. $249 a month. 24 Compass Limited.
Credit well qualified class supplies lab, including tax tag 464.50. For details on 800-Barbera.com.
For the veterans, every day's Black Friday.
Barbera!
Your brand new Barbera Jeep Compass Limited. Your choice. 0% for 72 months. $249 a month.
Jeep's cheap. Is Barbera the best?
Hang on, you tell him, Brandon Graham.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
You hear more and more about identity theft in the news every day. And that's because so much of your personal info is out of your control. Like your doctor's office that has your social security number. But not everyone who has your data is careful. That's why companies are offering LifeLock as an employee benefit. LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it. Look for Norton LifeLock benefit plans during open enrollment and learn more at lifelock.com/benefits.
Shop early, save big, all month long during Black Friday build-up at Lowe's. Right now, get select pre-lit artificial Christmas trees starting at just $59.98. Don't wait to save. Shop these deals today, in-store or online, because Lowe's knows deals. Discount taken at time of purchase while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
Jane says, I'm done with Sergio. You treat me like a rag doll. She hides the television. See, I don't know him nothing but it. Oh, he come back again. Tell him, oh, wait right here for me. Oh, try again tomorrow. I'm gonna kick tomorrow. I'm gonna kick tomorrow. Jane says, have you seen my wig around? I feel naked without it. She knows they all want her to go. But that's okay, man. She don't like them anyway.
Oh, welcome back. Daily Ticket with you here on a Monday. Beautiful day outside. Hopefully it's going to be like that for the rest of the week, specifically Thursday. Well, Sean, you got this thing called the iPhone. Why don't you take a peek? I did hear somebody say it's going to get a little chilly, which you would expect. Oh, Lord, I see 30s. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, it's going to be cold on Thursday. A high of 50. A low of 33. Woo! Well, you knew it was coming eventually. Yeah, today 71, and then tomorrow 50s, highs of 50s. So that was it. That was all she wrote. We're officially on to Cold Watch. Anyways, Thursday night we'll be live from Xfinity Live. I'll be filling in for the great Quimby on Green Legion Radio, and we'll be live from 4 to 5 p.m. from, as I said, Xfinity Live, Green Legion Tailgate. Nobody does it better than those guys and girls, and we're going to have a great show. And then I will be heading back up 76 and taking the game in at McGillicuddy's from Manioc, blocking the road off. It's going to be great. And they are lighting the tree up the Christmas tree in Manayunk. So it's going to be popping. It's going to be a very popular spot. Let's put it that way. So come on down on Thursday night to Cuddy's for the game. Big screen, blow up, projector on the road. Awesome deal. Bring a chair and great specialists, great people. And oh, by the way, me during the game. So anytime the Birds score, I'll be firing up the fight song. Hopefully that is a lot. And then we're going to have some fun there. It was a lot yesterday. Once again, Eagles with a nice victory, 34-6. Better than a nice victory, right? Like, it was a great win. The fact that they haven't beat Dallas forever down there, that was number one. 7-point favorites, covering a number, that's number two. But just dominating. A dominating performance defensively, a dominating performance from Jalen Hurts. And look, everything is set up nice for this squad right now. This is a home game, both teams on a short week. No excuses, right? Like this is the NFL. So we're about to find out who's the better team on Thursday night. Again, Eagles 3-point favorites on DraftKings Sportsbook, rightfully so. I love the Birds here. I do. I think defensively that they're going to fly around and make life difficult for Daniels, who's a rookie quarterback who's playing great ball, but it has some flaws. So I think that the Eagles are definitely to play on Thursday night. Again, bias, of course, but we'll be breaking that game down a lot throughout the course of the week. And that's going to get the party started this week in NFL Week 11. Putting a bow on Week 10, though, tonight. We got ourselves a good one. Rams and Dolphins. Now, the Rams, 3-game winning streak. Now, look, they did struggle because of the injuries. They're 4-4 on the season. Because I would assume that if they had Puka and Cooper from the start of the season, you're looking at a much different Rams team. That's kind of where I'm at right now when I think about this game this evening. This Rams offense has scored over 25 points in the last 3 weeks versus in the first couple games, the first 5 games, in fact, they were averaging only 18 points per game. When you think of the Rams, you think of offense. Of course, they lost Aaron Donald, but they still have good linebacker play, good cornerback play. This is a team that could very well, and you got to wonder as far as the home field advantage when teams go out to LA, they travel well. I don't think Miami qualifies as that, so nothing concerning there. This is a game that Stafford and company needs to do their thing. Williams out of the backfield for the Rams has just been a beast. And he's getting a lot of production. He's scoring touchdowns on the regular. He had a 10-game regular season touchdown streak going up until last weekend, and that's why he's minus 220 to score a touchdown tonight, anytime touchdown. There's a lot to like from the Rams' perspective. Again, the numbers, what we've seen so far, getting these players back healthy, and as long as Puka doesn't throw a punch to start the game, I think he should be good. And I like Stafford here. I like the Los Angeles Rams in this one. Miami, though, flip side, I don't know if it's as simple as getting their guys back healthy. I do know Tua makes them a better team. There's no doubt about that. But that's not where I can go with this. Like on the Rams, I believe in Stafford and McVay and, of course, those talented receivers and players and Williams coming out of the backfield. Miami, I know that they have some good players. I still just don't think it's that easy for them to go out there and flip the script, and all of a sudden you get Tua back, and he played well against Buffalo. He was 25 of 28, 231, 2 touchdowns. And the fact that you add Tua into the mix, it's only going to help guys like Achane and Mostert out of the backfield. But I'm think something's missing, and can this be a game where Tyreek has all the, lights shining the brightest, and this is a game that he's going to step up and make you pay? Could possibly be the case, but I just don't buy into what Miami is this year. And McDaniels, I know he's a good coach. I really do. I know he is. And he's great offensive mind, but there has been a lot lacking for the Dolphins, to say the least, in their 2-6 record. There's a big spot, desperation spot for Miami again. Going out there, playing Monday Night Football, nothing to play for, no playoffs, no division, understood. But guys like Tyreek, where the lights are shining bright and everybody in the country's watching, it could be a game where they just want to get him going, keep feeding him. And he is a difference maker. He could go out there and be nasty for the Dolphins. But to me, I'm taking the Rams here. It's 2.5 point spread. 48.5 is our total. And this one, again, I think the Rams should be a little bit more of a favorite. I just think the Dolphins get that shine because of what they can do on offense, but I'm not buying it. I already said it, so I'm just not buying that. I don't know why it's only 2.5 though. So why not 3? That is a little eye-opening there. Look, they played better against Buffalo. Game was in Buffalo, so that was a game that everybody assumed that they were going to get smoked. It was a 6-point spread, did not happen. Total was at 49, and that one went way over the total in that one. And then tonight we got 48.5. So I could see the over happening as well. And for all you people out there that want to be cashing those over tickets at halftime, like you did with the Baltimore Ravens Cincinnati Bengals on Thursday night, slow your roll. Take it easy. They play 4 quarters for a reason. So many people were like, I should have been on the under. That's kind of the similar spot here where I just expect Monday Night Football 48.5. I think we could get to the over on that one. It's not a play I love. I do expect points to be scored, but I like the Rams in this one. Again, the Dolphins, 2-6 on the season, 2-6 ATS, 3-5 to the under this year. The Rams' perspective, just to let you know what they are. Let's see here. Head that up there. They're 3-5 ATS this year, 4-4 for the total. Last time out for the Rams, ended up winning that good game against Seattle in overtime last week, 26-20. So a total of 46 points in that one, but they went over the number in the Vikings game, stayed under number in the Raiders game, and under the number in the Green Bay game. So last couple games for the Rams. But again, Puka's back. As long as he doesn't punch anybody, Cooper Kupp is back. He got a ton of workload once Puka went out last week. So I expect Puka to really be the guy that you need to watch out for. And I believe the receiving yards for Puka Nacua is the number one player prop on a DraftKings sportsbook. Receiving yards right now, Puka's at 68.5. Of course, you can see it going over that. Cooper Kupp 67.5. Tyreek Hill 75.5. And then where's Waddle at? They don't have Waddle listed. I don't know what's going on there. Interesting. Quickly on this, from the touchdown scorer spots here on DraftKings Sportsbook, you got Williams, as I said, minus 220, Achane minus 110, Cooper Kupp plus 125, Puka plus 130, Mostert plus 145, Tyreek Hill plus 130. Waddle's listed there at plus 150. So I think Waddle is a good play tonight with Tua back into the mix. Jonnu Smith plus 220 in there, and DeMarcus Robinson at plus 230. So that's my take on tonight's game. Love to hear your thoughts. Where you at? Where you leaning? Again, should be a good one. And that's all we want. We just want to get home and watch a good Monday Night Football game, right? Got some NBA action, got some college hoop action, no doubt. But I'm looking at the Monday Night Football game to have a screen this evening. That's for damn sure. All right, keeping it moving here once again. Just to let you know, DraftKings did put this out here. The most bet player prop for tonight's game, Matthew Stafford, plus 225 passing yards. All right, speaking of tonight, 6 p.m., we are live from Chickens and Pete's in Marlton. We're getting everybody ready to go. Sydney Brown will be joining the group out there once again. Chickens and Pete's in Marlton every Monday night for the All-Pro Philly Players Show. I'm Sean Brace riding solo with you till 5 o'clock. Do not go anywhere. More NFL conversation. We'll look ahead to the lines that are coming up here for the games. Of course, we already hit on the Eagles 3-point favorites over the Commanders. We'll take a look at some other big spots for NFL Week 11 on the other side. More after this.
It's the Daily Ticket with Sean Brace, 3 to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Host of the Tough Cover Radio Show, hear him every Saturday right here on The Gambler, the one and only Mr. Mark Henry Jr. The Vikings, Packers, Commanders, and Detroit Lions all in front of the Eagles. Do you agree with that?
I'm out on the Vikings. The Commanders, I would certainly not put in front of the Eagles. I get it. I get the argument. I wouldn't do it personally. And then it comes down to, you have to put the Lions one in the power rankings right now. Although I've been vocal about it. I don't think the Lions are winning the NFC. A lot of people are just saying, Lions Chiefs Super Bowl, Lions Ravens Super Bowl. It's not how it works. It's just not how it works, especially the Lions lost Aiden Hutchinson. I understand that it hasn't affected them yet. I think it will affect them come January when the primetime players play and make their paychecks and get to the quarterback in the cold weather. I don't think the Lions are making the run for them without their best player.
If you can wager on it, we're talking about it right here on The Gambler.
My station, baby!
With its new look and taste, Dasani is always crisp, clean, and refreshing. So, when thirst calls, answer with the new refreshed taste of Dasani water, now without salt. Learn more at Dasani.com.
Hey, it's Sean Brace, and the NBA Cup is finally here. Time is ticking to get in on the action for the games on Tuesday and Friday. Just tune into my show this Tuesday and Friday at 3 p.m. to hear more about what our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook are offering our listeners.
Attention. If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 385-557-6498. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 385-557-6498. That's 385-557-6498.
The holidays are here at the Home Depot. If you're working on getting ready for company,
a lot of company,
make sure you're ready with Black Friday savings. Get up to 40% off select appliances, plus up to an extra $1,000 off select kitchen appliances. Upgrade your kitchen with top brands like GE Profile and get sleek cutting-edge appliances to make sure you
got hosting handled.
Yeah, you do. Get Black Friday savings now with free delivery and financing on select appliances this holiday at the Home Depot. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store online for details.
Hey, sports fans, if you're not calling John Anthony, you're simply missing out. To prove it, I'm releasing your Monday Night Report absolutely free unrecorded message line. 1-800-808-3481. Miami at Los Angeles tonight is going to be a monster game, and I've got the side and total. Miami, Los Angeles, confirmed analysis, college and pro hoops, plus special prop action. That's 5 big plays. John Anthony has you covered. I love to sweep the board. Call now. Hear them for free on recorded message. 1-800-808-3481. Information wins. John Anthony Sports. Number one against the spread. Call 1-800-808-3481. You want the information? I've got it. Miami, LA, plus hoops and special prop action. I'd love to go 5-0 this season free. 1-800-808-3481. That's 1-800-808-3481. Or go to johnanthonysports.com.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating.
Keep celebrating when you bundle and save with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
9 out of 10 hiring managers are having difficulty hiring. Robert Half is here to help. Their recruiting professionals utilize their award-winning AI to connect businesses with highly skilled talent. At Robert Half, they know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Mostly clear overnight and turning breezy. We have another cold front that's going to come through. Temperatures will stay fairly mild overnight, around 50 degrees. And then the winds really whip up and temperatures crash here on Tuesday. Kind of a reality check. Winds gusting up to 35 miles an hour despite full sunshine on your Tuesday at a high of just 56. I'm meteorologist Adam Joseph with your 6 ABC forecast.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Shop early, save big all month long during Black Friday buildup at Lowe's. Get a free Select tool when you buy a Select battery or combo kit because Lowe's knows deals. Valid 11/7 through 11/20. Selection varies by location while supplies last.
Of a celebration of life, death, and the struggles of our ancestors. Check it out. Let me hear you say, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah.
Coming down the home stretch here. Daily Ticket with you, Sean Brace. Hey, anytime these players or these games played on a field, whether it's a wet track or the end zone is in your ear, like they have a way of working themselves out. And what I mean by that is both teams play on the same damn field. I get it. There's a little bit of a home field advantage and maybe something you need to pay attention to from time to time. Some teams, I've seen the Eagles, they know the sun sets in a certain type of sideline of the link. I believe they switched the sidelines a few seasons ago, if I'm not mistaken. If I believe that's correct. Anyways, you know that the sun will hang on that side of the stadium, on the visiting side, a little bit longer than, of course, the home side, right? And these are the things that you make the changes on. That deal down in Jerry's World with the sun shining through the gigantic windows, like both teams are playing on. I don't see it as like, yeah, I get it. It can affect a play if you are trying to catch the football over the middle, like we saw yesterday with CeeDee Lamb. Like, yeah, but the Eagles had to do that in the previous quarter, right? Like, I laugh about those sort of things. Yes, it's a big deal for that team at that moment, but it's going to even itself out. That's my read on it. I know everyone's losing their minds over the sun shining in the windows. I would also say that, it's a beautiful look, but maybe don't be afraid to possibly put some screens in that you can go ahead and hit a button and they drop or they rise. Like if it's that much of an issue, then Jerry should go ahead and put some money into it and then shut everybody up. I know he doesn't want to hear that, but I was just laughing over that. And then apparently today, the press conference is being held down there, and Mike McCarthy's addressing the media, and the sun is shining in the media room. I don't know. Is it brighter down there in Dallas as well? Who knows? But I always laugh about those sort of deals because at the end of the game, both teams are going to play, right? Both teams are going to be going one way, 2 quarters, and the other way, the other 2 quarters, right? It's going to work itself out. Very rarely do you ever see a home field advantage that was significant one way or the other due to field of play, weather. Again, atmosphere is a different ball game, right? Like I think there's strategy in that. And, to bring up another sport, the soccer, we got the River End and up there with the Philadelphia Union in Chester. And you want to be closing up, with, do you want to end the game with the loud section cheering you on, or do you want that on the other side as far as defense is concerned? I think most of the time the Union wanted to finish towards the River End because it gave him a little bit more buzz and it was loud for the goalie to communicate with his team. So like those sort of things are different, but sun shining down on the field in the second quarter, I believe it was the second quarter. Like, yeah, that happens both ways. So you can miss me on that nonsense, but I would add those screens. I don't think it's that much of an issue. And I feel like we watched a ton of Dallas games over the last decade plus that the sun is just ripping through. And it is funny because, you know darn well that the sun sets that way. So when you built the stadium, maybe you could have done things a little bit differently due to that, but they chose not to. And I think it's a beautiful stadium. I've never been there. I think that's a beautiful look, those pictures. But obviously it does bother the players, and you can understand that trying to catch a ball over the middle and that sun shining right in your face, it's really tough. And we saw that yesterday. but just miss me on it, helping one team over the other. Oh, by the way, Philadelphia Union, what a ridiculous move firing Jim Curtin. The press conference happened today. I'm not going to spend much time on it. But if you do know the Philadelphia Union and you know Jim Curtin, he was a damn good coach and he deserved better than that. But organizations are going to do what they want. And it sounds like the general manager / sporting director was on the side of ownership, and the ownership decided to roll with him, Ernst Tanner. So good luck there. We'll see what happens. All right, coming down the home stretch again, 6 o'clock, we're going to send things out to Chickies and Pete's in Marlton for the All-Pro Philly Players Show. Gerald Colton, Dave Spadaro, and Eagles. Sidney Brown will be there tonight, so get on out there and support the gang. Quickly, though, if we could, just take a look at some of the numbers here. Once again, DraftKings Sportsbook showing the Rams 2.5-point favorites tonight. But let's talk about NFL Week 11. And we open up shop on Thursday. Eagles 3-point favorites, 48.5 is our total on that one. Moneyline Eagles minus 166 plus 140 for the Commanders. Thursday night game, extremely, extremely important. Playoffs, division, you name it. There's a lot to play for. Got to like the Eagles in that spot. Short week, going up against a rookie quarterback. I like them on offense. I think defensively they're buzzing. Biased, absolutely front and center. I think this could get ugly. I love the Birds on Thursday night. Love them. We keep them moving on Sunday. No early games. I think we're done with that. There was a report that the NFL will be playing a bunch of international games next year. I thought they played a bunch this year. I think it was 4, right? Maybe more than that. Anyways, I wanted to say the report I read today was 8 total international games next year. Anyways, Packers and Bears, division battle, 6.5-point spread. Green Bay favored in that one. That game is being played in Chicago. Vikings and Titans. Vikings 6-point road favorites in Tennessee. Ravens and Steelers, really good matchup there. Of course, division battle on the line. 3-point spread here. Ravens road favorites. So right from the jump, 3 road favorites. First 3 games on the board for Sunday. Jags and Lions. Lions are 13-point home favorites. That Jags team is atrocious. Mac Jones. Oof. Lions 13-point favorites at home. Rams and Patriots in a 1 o'clock window. Rams 5.5-point road favorites. We'll see what happens this evening. Colts and Jets. Jets 3.5-point home favorites. Browns and Saints. Oof, that's an ugly one. Saints are a point favorite. That game is being played in New Orleans. And the final game in the 1 o'clock window, Dolphins and Raiders. Miami 7-point favorites against the Raiders. Immediately I say, who are the Dolphins to give 7 points to anybody? But we'll see what happens tonight. 4 o'clock window, Seahawks and 49ers. Big time division battle there. As tight as it is in the West. 49ers 6.5-point home favorites. They were 6.5-point road favorites against Tampa yesterday. Falcons and Broncos 2.5. Denver favored at home. Intriguing number there with the desperation Atlanta Falcons team after losing that game to the Saints yesterday. Chiefs and Bills. Bills are 2.5-point favorites. That's probably the game of the weekend. Bills 2.5-point home favorites. Yeah, you heard that right. Mahomes, a dog, 425 kick, game being played in Buffalo. And then we got the Bengals and Chargers. Chargers are a point favorite. They look good, man, playing really good football. Harbaugh got them believing. That's for dang sure. Speaking of dang. And finally, Monday Night Football next week. Oh, another dose of the Dallas Cowboys. Texans 7-point favorites. Yeesh. Cowboys are on our screen a lot over the next couple weeks. I did see that from the national TV perspective. Hopefully we can flex out of some of those games because they don't have much going for them. And I don't believe America wants to watch Cooper Rush play quarterback. Yeah, that's probably a safe bet there. All right, coming up, 6 o'clock live from Chickies and Pizza in Marlton. Don't touch that dial. Keep it locked right here. I'll be back tomorrow. Brand new daily ticket. The Takeover, 3 p.m. Getting you ready for the NBA Cup. Myself, Sean Bernard. All things DraftKings Sportsbook. Taking it over for an hour. Straight coverage and all things NBA. The return of Joel Embiid. Sixers, 1-point favorite against the Knicks. Should be a fun one. Tomorrow we'll be all over it for you on the daily ticket. Everybody enjoy the rest of your night. All-Pro Philly Players Show at 6 p.m. And how about a Rams easy victory? I'll take that as well. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.